Hello, you guys. It's Jaylen Martinez, aka the Suburban Grower, and I'm reporting live from the garage, where all of our citrus and pots are currently being held. Right now, the temperature outside is somewhere around 28 degrees. So I'm going to show you what's going on here in the garage. Then I'm going to go ahead and get outside. So we have our Meyer lemons out here. Everything is flowering. Our calamundan is flowering. Our mandarins are flowering. Caroline, the Valencia orange is flowering. Navel orange, variegated lemon. Everything is in full bloom out here, and it's freezing outside. The reason why I wanted to show you all what's going on out here is to obviously get you all updated. I wish I had a little bit more lighting, i.e. I wish we were outside and it wasn't so cold. But the reason why I decided to bring you all out here, look at this. Caroline is always either flowering or about to drop some oranges. So anyway, let me not get off track. The reason why I brought you all in here is simply due to the fact that somebody is already doing it, and then it's going to come back to bite them. But I have learned not to bring your citrus in pots inside the house. I know that some of you are like, well, where the heck else do you bring them? You guys, here's the deal. Our citrus flowers will not take damage at anything above 36, 37 degrees. So if flowers can take 36, 37 degrees, you know that your citrus will be okay in those temperatures. And I mean, I'm estimating super high. You're not gonna have any problems with your citrus being in the high 30s. You start to run into problems with 34 and below. With that being said, you guys, please do not make, it's not a fatal mistake, but please do not make the bonehead mistake of bringing your trees inside with warm temperatures while they're flowering or while you're overwintering them. The reason why, and I'm saying this, I don't mean no harm by calling anybody a bonehead, but what I'm saying is, in the past, I have done this same thing and did not think about what was potentially going to happen. This time last year, it feels good to finally be able to say that freeze happened last year. This time last year, we had the whole freeze thing that came over, and I brought all of my trees inside. So while my trees outside were being absolutely taken back to the ice age, my trees on the inside thought that it was spring. So Caroline did what she does best, and she put out a million flowers, brand new leaves, everything. Just a total, she went crazy. But I kind of thought back, it was on me. It's always going to be your fault, unfortunately, when you're growing trees. Because a lot of the times we do things trying to protect them and we end up harming them. So when I brought Caroline in the house, you can only imagine if it was 7, 8 degrees outside at that time. We had the heat cranked up to about 70, 76, 77. And I normally keep my heat somewhere around 69 or 70. So make a long story short, she went through a whole cycle like it was spring. I brought her back outside. She dropped her flowers and she dropped her leaves. So for those of you who are thinking about bringing your trees inside, you are absolutely going to send them into shock. I just wanted to let you all know that because I've been through that, and that part sucks because you know your tree is okay, you know it's well, but unfortunately you're gonna have to go through spring twice because they're gonna flower again, most likely in the summer or the fall, and then they're gonna be naked with leaves until they reflower again. So that's just something that you want to avoid altogether. And I wanted to give you all a heads up. So unless that is absolutely your last resort, please do not just spring them into the house at 80 degrees after bringing them outside from the mid 40s to high 30s. That is going to be a disaster. So if you have an area where you can store them temporarily, whether that be a garage, whether that be a shed, if you use a shed and it's not attached to any part of your house, go ahead and use those extra precautions to cover your trees because they will be taken out of the elements. But if it's 30 degrees outside, it might be 30 degrees in your shed. I'm just saying. So with that being said, you guys, I just wanted to show you the precautions that I'm taking with our potted plants because I want everybody to be on point because unfortunately, as you all are about to find out whenever we go outside, we've taken some losses already this year. So I just wanted to save you guys from dealing with anything that is going to make your day go as bad as mine was 2 weeks ago. So picking up on being outside, so Texas did its normal thing. For those of you who are in Central Texas, you know that I'm not lying. For those of you who do not know what I'm talking about, feel free to listen up, and I'm fixing to go ahead and get this little quick story started. So 2 weeks ago, while I was getting ready to go to work, finally got ready, went to work, found out that, okay, so let me rewind, let me slow down. So 2 weeks ago, the temperature was about 85 degrees in the daytime. I hadn't been watching the weather because I didn't think I needed to. It was about 85 degrees that day. By that next morning at 4 a.m., the temperature was 22 degrees. The following night, it got down to 22 degrees as well. So our citrus that are outside took a direct hit. I did everything leading up to that point to protect our trees, and all of them still had leaves on them. Our Meyer lemon was actually flowering, believe it or not. So basically, I got caught with my pants down. I was at work and didn't check the weather because I didn't think I needed to be worried about a freeze with the temperatures in the 70s and 80s on that day. So that was then. As we found out on this channel, we have to move forward. It's one thing after the other, but at the same time, I wanted to show you all that I even make mistakes. That sound like a great excuse, but that still shouldn't have happened. But I wanted to show you all that things happen to me as well. Like I have the things that I like to think that I have things figured out at all times, but some things catch me off guard as well. So with that being said, this is what I did with today. So today we're supposed to get down to around 24 degrees on tonight and tomorrow and the day after, which would be Friday and Saturday. We're supposed to be in the low to mid 20s as well. So I have absolutely went ape crap over here today. So first thing that I did was I watered our trees. I've been looking at the way that a lot of the Florida growers take care of their citrus, and they water their trees to keep them from bursting open. So what basically happens is when it's dry outside and it freezes, the water that is in the cell membranes of the cambium layer of the citrus burst open if they're not watered, which is what happened to a lot of our citrus here last year. Because again, same kind of setup. It was warm leading up to that big event that we had. It feels so good to say that happened last year. It was warm leading up to that happening in February last year. So everybody's trees just exploded. So this year, I'm making sure that I'm learning from my mistakes from last year. So what I did was I went ahead and watered our trees Then I came back and insulated them with some aspen chips. Then I came out here and I wrapped the base of our trees with this burlap. Now I know this is porous. I wrapped each square inch, and I do literally mean each square inch of the tree, probably about 5 times the base of the tree. Then I came back and wrapped our trees with 2 blankets. Then I secured those with the burlap wraps. Then I came back and put our protective frost blankets on top. And then, of course, my final layer was wrapping them again with that burlap. So, you guys, we're not taking any more damage from our citrus this year. But it just felt really, 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 really bad to have that happen after our Meyer lemon came back so well, and our other 2 citrus trees actually produced fruit this year. So it sucks, but you guys, at the same time, I want you all to know that I'm a real human being, and as we all know, we are flawed at times. So you guys, that is more or less where we are. We are going to do exactly what we have to do to make sure that our citrus are taken care of. So if you see these icicles, this was the this was the tail of the tape from whenever I watered my trees to show you how cold it is. So we will prevail. I think I said this time last year. We will prevail. But seriously, you guys, I mean, you know, you do everything that you can, and sometimes you forget to watch the weather, and you're right back to square one. But you guys have a blessed day. Please stay warm. And I know I'm probably crying about 20 degrees when some of you, I seen one of our viewers mention that he's in a northern part of the United States looking at -1 degrees. So with that being said, you know, you take what you can get and you kind of go from there. So you guys have a blessed one. Thanks for viewing, and get back to you after this whole thing subsides. You all have a blessed one.